여러분 반갑습니다. I'm Kwon So-hwa and this is K-Culture Dive. Join us in taking a deep dive into the heart of Korean culture, from K-entertainment to AI news, on-field reports, and today an in-depth look at K-drama sequels. And we're going to do all of that together with Walter Lee joining me this Friday. Walter, happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Soa, and hello to everyone joining us on K-Culture Dive today. I'm Walter, here to co-host and bring you the latest in K-entertainment stories.
All right, let's kick off with K-Enter News, Walter. Now, the first year for K-films has been outstanding, the first half of the year. And I think we're going to talk about a movie that's continuing its successful run in the second half of the year.
Yes, indeed we are, Soa. So, Yeom, Hye-ran, best known for her roles in Netflix's When Life Gives You Tangerines and also the K-drama thriller The Glory, received the Audience Award for director Jung Ji-young's My Name or 내 이름은 at the 25th New York Asian Film Festival. Now, My Name is about a mother's journey of searching for lost memories during a time partially set after the Jeju April 3rd incident. Now, according to distributors CGV and Wide Release, My Name received the highest number of audience votes at the New York Asian Film Festival, showing how much international recognition it has gained. Now, the New York Asian Film Festival Audience Award is just one of the film's growing list of achievements, following its selection before its official release at the 75th Berlin International Film Festival, and also winning the Audience Award at the Udine Far East Film Festival. Now, as for the future, My Name has also been officially selected to compete at the 14th Asian Film Festival Barcelona and the non-competitive panorama section of the 26th Kaohsiung Film Festival in Taiwan.
Yeom Hye-ran is such a great actress.
She is.
And Walter, let's talk about K-pop now. Blackpink's Jennie's latest single, Less Than a Lover, has been incredibly popular among fans, including myself. It's still on the top of my playlist.
Yes, indeed it has. So Blackpink's Jennie has added another music show trophy as a solo artist with her latest single, as we just mentioned, Less Than a Lover. Now, on Thursday's Mnet M Countdown, Jennie took home first place with the track, despite actually not even appearing on the program. The track has maintained strong momentum across major domestic and international streaming platforms, now topping Korea's Bugs real-time track chart and Apple Music Korea. It also swept the #1 spot on China's 3 largest music platforms. It became actually the only female solo single released this year to receive gold certification from QQ Music, as well as topping the charts on NetEase Cloud Music and Google Music as well. The track reached #1 on the iTunes Top Songs chart in 27 countries and regions, setting a new record for the most #1s achieved by a K-pop solo release in 2026. Now, Jennie is set to continue her global activities at major international music festivals, including Lollapalooza Chicago in the US and Summer Sonic 2026 in Japan.
Well, Walter, I think those are going to be perfect settings to sing her latest song, Less Than a Lover. And finally, we're going to end off with a rookie group that is set to release a new mini album.
Yes, indeed, so we are. So after sweeping rookie and main awards at major music ceremonies, Alpha Drive 1 or ALD1 is set to continue the flow of popularity with their release of a second mini album called Unbreakable Boy Beast. The group has been maintaining strong momentum since its debut in January 2026. Now, ALD1's rapid rise has also been reflected in its growing list of accolades. Now, the group has won both Rookie of the Year at the 35th Seoul Music Awards and main awards at several major ceremonies like the 2026 K-Forum Awards, Asia Star Entertainer Awards 2026, and the KM Chart Awards 2026. Now, attention is now turning to the group's musical growth and youthful storytelling, which it aims to showcase through this upcoming mini album set for release on August 24th local time.
All right, thank you very much, Walter, for those updates, and stick around.
Will do.
And now it's time to turn over to our AI anchor Arirang for more on the culture front. Arirang.
Thanks, Swa. Here's your AI guide to the latest cultural headlines from Korea. Let's begin with our top story. The Culture Ministry convened a strategic meeting on Thursday to discuss ways to boost inbound tourism. The meeting brought together representatives from the Korea Association of Travel Agents and major inbound tour operators. Participants shared potential key source markets and discussed challenges in attracting more foreign visitors and operating tour packages. Kang Jung-won, head of the ministry's Tourism Policy Office, pledged to work closely with the industry to accelerate the government's goal of ushering in an era of 30 million annual international visitors. First Lady Kim Hye-kyung, accompanying President Lee Jae-myung on his official visit to Chile, toured a museum in Santiago, highlighting cultural ties between South Korea and a South American nation. Kim and Chilean First Lady Maria Pia Adria solo visited the Museum of Pre-Columbian Art, which showcases the history and culture of indigenous people in Central and South America before Christopher Columbus's arrival in the Americas. The presidential office said the visit fostered mutual understanding of the two countries' history and traditions, and reaffirmed their commitment to expanding cultural exchange and cooperation. Busan welcomed more than 2.42 million foreign tourists in the first half of this year, marking a nearly 44% increase from the same period last year. The city saw a record monthly figure in June, with more than 484,000 international visitors arriving. Tourists from Taiwan made up the largest group from January to June, with about 477,600 visitors, a 54% increase from last year. They were followed by those from China, Japan, the United States, and the Philippines. According to the Korea Tourism Organization, foreign tourist spending in Busan jumped 63% on year, helping revitalize the local economy. That's all from me. Turning now to a quick look at more K-culture stories making headlines today.
K-culture isn't just about what happens on screen or on stage anymore. A new program in Seoul is inviting visitors to step behind the curtain, offering a rare chance to explore one of Korea's most iconic performing arts venues while experiencing the stories, artistry, and traditions that bring each production to life. Our Shin So-eun went out to check it out.
Imagine standing at the center of a grand stage as the lights sparkle and everyone's attention is fixed on you. For most people, a trip to the theater begins when the curtain rises. But here, visitors have a first-hand experience behind the scenes of the spectacle. Highlighting its theatrical legacy, the Sejong Center for the Performing Arts, located in Gwanghwamun Square in the heart of Seoul, invites foreigners to a backstage tour that brings Korea's culture together in one immersive event.
I see performances as one of the most powerful forms of experiential content. As artists at work behind the scenes during the day, I wanted to reveal the mechanisms behind the scenes through this tour.
Considers Korea's largest performing arts venue, the auditorium can accommodate more than 3,000 people. The magnificent sounds are all produced from one side of the auditorium, which drew inspiration from a Korean traditional string instrument called komungo.
I'm the type of person I want to learn something very deeply and very thoroughly. My impression after leaving here is that it's interesting how there's been some Western influence, but still faithfulness to Korean tradition.
Echoing the curved eaves of mainstream Korean architecture and orchestra, the Sejong Center hosts global art forms such as opera and ballet. Spaces normally hidden from the audience farther deepen visitors' curiosity.
Seeing the backstage areas and costumes up close was incredible. The theater was so beautiful that I'd love to come back for a performance.
Foreign visitors are drawn to the beauty of restraint in Korean dance.
In Korean dance, the fan can become a brush, a prop, or even a way to express the movement of air. I hope these details resonate with visitors and evoke a wide range of cultural emotions.
By stepping behind the curtain, audiences can get a glimpse of how Korean performances come to life. With foreign arrivals surpassing 10 million in the first half of the year, tours like this can turn theaters into a new K-culture destinations. Shin So-eun, Arirang News.
South Korea's southern port city, Busan. It has recently emerged as one of the hottest destinations for international travelers. At the center of it all is Haeundae, one of Korea's most iconic beaches and a magnet for visitors from across the globe. Today, it is known for its sleek skyline and vibrant seaside culture. But Haeundae's story began more than 1,000 years ago, during the Silla Kingdom. Its name is said to have come from Choi Chi-won, one of Korea's greatest scholars. Mesmerized by the breathtaking scenery, he carved his pen name, Haeun, into a seaside rock. That inscription gave the place its name, Haeundae, where the sea meets the clouds. For centuries, Haeundae was treasured for its natural beauty. Then, in the 1930s, the arrival of the railway and hot springs transformed it into one of Korea's first modern seaside resorts. Nature met leisure, and Haeundae was reborn as a premier vacation destination. Over time, another transformation followed. Towering skyscrapers rose along the coastline, creating one of Asia's most recognizable skylines, a place where pristine beaches and a thriving megacity exist side by side. With every season, Haeundae reveals a different side of itself. The sea that once stopped a scholar in his tracks more than a millennium ago continues to captivate millions today. For every traveler who arrives, Haeundae leaves behind something to remember and a reason to return.
Recent K-dramas are returning with new seasons have been enjoying remarkable success. Today, we'll take a closer look at why this season format is becoming increasingly popular in Korean dramas and what makes these sequels resonate with audiences. For that, we're joined by culture critic Professor Hye-ran from Kyung University. Welcome back, Professor Z.
Hello, Professor.
Hello, good afternoon.
All right, let's kick off with one of the K-dramas that's already been receiving a lot of enthusiastic response after its release. We're talking about A Shop for Killers Season 2.
Right.
So first off, what did you think of the series?
Actually, personally, I was really looking forward to seeing Shop for Killers Season 2. So now that the 4 of the 8 episodes are out on Disney+. So what I like most is that the new season doesn't simply repeat the success of the Season 1. Instead, it makes the world of the series much bigger. So while the Season 1 was mainly about Jung Ji-yan's fighting to survive, Season 2 focuses more on the Jung Jin-man's return and his fight back. So at the conflict with the global organization Babylon grows and the hidden world behind the Mother Help opens up, the story becomes bigger than just the survival thriller. So it feels more like the beginning of the much bigger franchise.
Right, and you explained a little bit about it there, but just if you have any more detail, that'd be great. But also, some people don't really rate first seasons. Can people just jump into the second season without actually seeing the first?
Yeah, right. The Shop for Killers is based on the Kang Ji-young's novel of the same name. So the story begins when Jung Ji-yan suddenly loses his uncle, Jung Jin-man, and discovers that he had been running a secret shopping mall for the professional killers. So from that moment, she is pulled into a dangerous world where the assassins from all over the world begin hunting her. So that technically you can actually start with the Season 2, but I highly recommend watching Season 1 first, because you will understand the characters and their relationships and the secret behind the story much better if you watch Season 1.
So definitely watch Season 1 first. But with seasons, a successful second season needs to satisfy, obviously, the existing fans, and while also offering something fresh, which you sort of explained at the start. I mean, in the past, it wasn't common for K-dramas to have a second season. I read somewhere it's between 5 and 10% of dramas only do that, even in the US, 20 to 30%.
Right.
But in your opinion, how has the second season of A Shop for Killers successfully differentiated itself from, say, Season 1?
Right. I think think the season one success because it doesn't simply repeat what made season one successful. So instead, it takes the story in a new direction while keeping the elements the fans already loved, like myself. So while season one focuses mainly on Jung Ji-an, the niece, the fight for survivor, the season two expands the story into a much larger conflict with the mother half and the global organization Babylon. As more of Jung Jin-man's story is revealed, viewers begin to see that this isn't just a story about one family, and it's about an entire hidden world. So at the same time, the story keeps the strong characters and the emotional tension that made the season one so engaging. So I think that's why season two feels both familiar and fresh as well.
Well, my first impression after watching the trailer, I kind of felt that season two is kind of a bigger scale and more action. And maybe that can be true after you shoot a first season, and then you can invest more in it and maybe put more action into it, more effects and so forth.
Yes, I believe so.
And it's not the first time, though, that Korea is seeing successful K-drama sequels. We've got some very successful names there. Could you give us some examples?
Yeah, right. The Squid Game or the Sweet Home. So I think the season format really becomes familiar with the rise of OTT platforms. So in the past, as Walter just mentioned, so most Korean dramas told a complete story in one season. So we didn't actually call season. So it's a complete story. So today more series are designed to build a larger story over multiple seasons. So of course, Squid Game is the biggest example. So it showed that the Korean drama could grow into a global franchise. A Kingdom and Sweet Home proved that fantasy and thriller series could successfully expand their worlds across multiple seasons. While Weak Hero demonstrated how strong characters and emotional storytelling can keep audiences invested. So I would also mention the DP. So rather than simply continuing the story, DP uses the season format to explore its characters and social themes in much greater depth. So I think this series shows that the successful sequels are built on strong stories, not just popularity.
And as we are seeing for the second half of this year, there are actually a fair few dramas having next season. Are there any that you're particularly looking forward to, or that viewers or K-drama lovers should really look out for?
That's right. There are several exciting titles coming back in the second half of this year. So the ones that I'm mostly looking forward to are Moving and Made in Korea, All of Us Are Dead, and Flex X Cop. So each of them represent different strengths of Korean series. While Moving, I'm so much interested in seeing how Kangpul's universe continue to expand while keeping its emotional core. And Made in Korea has the potential to take the Korean political crime thriller to another level with the larger scale and more complex storytelling. And with the All of Us Are Dead, I am curious to see how the stories evolves beyond the traditional zombie drama through the new characters and the broader world. Also with the Flex X Cup returning next week, actually, it will be interesting to see how the story builds on its unique blend of crime investigation, action, and comedy. So more than anything, I think viewers should pay attention to how these series balance familiarity and originality. So a successful new season isn't just about making everything bigger. It's about giving audiences a reason to come back while still offering something new.
You know, I'm especially looking forward to All of Us Are Dead, and it's going to be interesting to see the new characters and the original characters, because they need new characters because many of the characters, turned into zombies, but maybe we'll see some zombies become humans again. I don't know. Looking forward to that one. But Professor Z, in your opinion, what would you say would be the most important, let's say, ingredient for a successful season 2 or season 3 or 4?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge for season 2 is, any seasons, is finding the right balance. So a second season has to reward the fans who have been watching it and waiting for it, as like myself. But it also has to welcome the new people who are watching the series for the first time. That means that it can't simply repeat what worked before, but it also shouldn't change so much that it loses its identity. So the best sequels stay true to original while giving the story and the characters and the world room to grow. So at the end, I think the great season 2 leaves the audiences a feeling that the series has moved forward, so not just continued. So that's why it keeps people excited for what's coming next. Whatever coming next, actually.
I have to agree with that.
Yes, and you and I briefly touched upon it before that, Korean dramas really aren't known for having like second seasons. Only it's sort of come recently. There've been a few dramas in the past that have, gone for a long time, but it's not a common thing within Korea. But it does seem that this next generation of people who are watching dramas are changing that and also changing the format, therefore making more seasons, more demands for new seasons. What do you think has driven that shift?
Yeah, I think there are like 3 main reasons. First, OTT platforms. OTT platforms have completely changed the way people watch the dramas. Viewers are now much more willing to follow the story over multiple seasons than they were in the past. So second, the Korea now has a much stronger ecosystem of the original IP. Successful web novels or webtoons and original scripts provide creators with the story that can naturally grow beyond a single season. Finally, the global audiences themselves change it as well. So global viewers are already familiar with the long-running seasons series, so they comfortable investigating characters and storylines over the longer period of time. So today's success isn't just about producing one hit drama. It's about creating a story that can continue to grow while keeping audiences engaged over the long period of time.
What's actually interesting is that in Korea, we actually had some very long dramas. It was just one season, but the episodes were like, I don't know, 20, 30, more than 30
like
episodes.
16 or 20,
right.
Yes.
And if you have short, for instance, 3-season dramas that have like 8 episodes, it's actually not that big of a difference, but there's a longer term that the fans have to wait for. I guess that's also a different strategy that we're seeing there. But last but not least, Professor Z, would you say that K-dramas have now then entered the franchise era, and what would be the competitive advantage for Korea's approach?
Yes, I do. I think the K-dramas have clearly entered the franchise era, and one of the Korea's biggest strengths is that, as I just mentioned, its ecosystem of original IP, especially webtoons and web novels. Earlier we mentioned these topics. So because these stories already have well-developed characters and detailed words, and of course loyal fan bases, fan communities, they are well suited to continue across multiple seasons. So they give the creators a much stronger foundations that they're starting from new scratch. So another advantage is that a successful drama doesn't end with their series itself. They can grow into the films or animations, games, or other forms of content, so allowing one story to reach audiences in many different platforms. So that's why I think the Korean approach is unique. So it's not simply about making more seasons. It's about building a story that can continue to grow, so connect with audiences across the different platforms and ultimately become a long-lasting franchise.
All right, it'll be exciting to see which Korean dramas will become the next global franchises.
Right.
And thank you very much, Professor Z, for your insights, and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, Walter, as always. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you back next week.
See you next week.
Thanks for watching and for your interest in everything K-Culture. K-Culture Dive will be back on Monday, 2 p.m. Korea time. Have a culture-filled weekend and keep diving.